Hi again. There's no prop today because, let's be honest, I just really didn't feel like using one. But anyways, in case you guys haven't heard, a YouTuber called Nerd City,
excellent content by the way, go check him out,
uploaded a video entitled Rated M for Mature, YouTube's secret rating system exposed, how to stop it from censoring channels. Yeah, the title's a bit of a mouthful, but it's a really good video and I have a small cameo in it. Well, it's somewhere in there. It's just my icon though. The Keemstar Leech Hoover is there if I'm not a good enough reason for you to go and watch it. Though to be honest, not that I blame you for that though. For anybody who's not watched the entirety of Nerd City's original video, I'll try and give you a quick basic rundown of some of the main things that he covered in that, though I do highly recommend that you watch the whole thing of the original video if you have the time. There's a lot of good and very important information in it, but if you have watched Nerd City's original video, there's a timestamp on screen right now taking you to where the summary ends. But essentially, the video exposes that YouTube has had a secret rating system that it's been applying to content and channels for a while now, and this rating affects how a video will perform and recommended. In some tests run by CeeLo and his team over at the Carla Project, videos with a mature rating perform significantly worse than videos with a more kid-friendly rating. There were specific tags used on certain types of videos that seem to exempt them from some of the scrutiny that similar videos got from YouTube's bot who's handing out these ratings. For instance, Inochii, or I Hate Everything, used the tag satire in a lot of his videos.
CeeLo and the Carla Plan group created a research project to do exactly that. For 1 month, they ran ad campaigns excluding everything except videos rated mature and targeting the channels of H3H3, PewDiePie, iDubbbzTV, Leafy is here.
Real quick, there's Leafy's one moment of relevancy for 2018. His moment last year was granted to him in the form of his Snapchat getting hacked and his dick getting leaked. Nice!
Drama Alert, Internet Comment Etiquette, and I Hate Everything. None of I Hate Everything's videos were served under the mature filter. He's even said on Twitter that he thinks the bot is passing right over him. But why? Possibly because he's doing something that the other guys don't. I Hate Everything self-tags his videos as satire when he uploads. The satire tag seems to create some kind of flexibility that's protecting his videos from the content filter.
It also seems like this kind of specific tagging method has an effect on the bot with more specific topics as well, like sexual abuse. We're putting Me Too somewhere in the metadata of that video seem to whitelist it somehow.
There's evidence that tagging Me Too in the metadata or putting Me Too in the title whitelists it from the content rating system, but no one was told that.
Now this tagging method isn't a be-all end-all shield to avoiding an M rating like Martin Shkreli dodged any jail time.
at least until now.
Rather, they just give you some wiggle room to operate in. But the exact amount of leeway that you get from the bot isn't exactly clear, and I'm not even sure that there is one. The evidence for this rating system stems from the previously mentioned CeeLo and the Carla Plan, where they did some rigorous testing to find out, after confirming a video's rating, how it affected that video's performance, an appearance of a rating system in the Google Help page that provides information for potential advertisers.
On the AdWords side of YouTube, where advertisers are actually pumping their money into the platform, the structure of YouTube reveals itself. Things are a little more cut and dry. If you're running an ad campaign and you want to limit your ad to play on videos that are rated G or T or M, you can simply click a tab that, well, abracadabra. If you still had any doubt, there's your video ratings.
And lastly, a rep from YouTube and an unexpected ally in times like this, Kwebbelkop, where he asked the rep what his channel's rating was after hearing about the rating system at a creator summit, and once he was told that rating, he was also told not to share it, which he promptly did. And he hasn't been invited to any creator summits or events since.
I checked your channel, and I'm happy to say your channel is DV-teen. Please keep this confidential.
Now, in my personal opinion, the fact that this rating system exists isn't the problem at all. I think it's a very necessary system to have in place right now, especially with the climate that YouTube seems to find itself in. With the constant scandals and articles from mainstream media leveling things that specific individuals do on YouTube against the site as a whole, Adpocalypse and all that shit, and just the general shitstorm we appear to be caught in right now, like being caught in the storm in Fortnite, or something equally as frustrating. The two biggest issues for me are, one, that creators have no explicit way to find out what rating their content or their channel has, and at least in regards to their creators, YouTube was more secretive in how they handled the knowledge of this rating system than the party in 1984 was with pretty much everything. While YouTube has said the yellow demonetization icon doesn't directly affect growth, the base causes that get you that yellow icon in the first place are a lot of the same base reasons that could cause you to get an M rating on your video. And that in itself makes your videos perform shittier and recommended. And creators can't even be sure that their video is rated M if their videos are demonetized. It isn't a one-to-one correlation. Some videos perform super well even when they are demonetized. For instance, I don't have any ads on any of my videos, yet a lot of them have done super well and recommended. There is no really solid way for creators to know why their videos are having less than midget-sized performance. YouTube said that the yellow icon on its own didn't affect the video's performance, at least not directly. And to be fair, the yellow icon's effect on a video's recommendation performance is inconsistent at best, and more skewed than a duck's penis at worst. Not only did YouTube provide no direct evidence that this rating system affected video performance, or guidelines for what fell into the different ratings,
No direct quotes from the text, do you get an F, 69 out of 100, see me after class,
but their lack of of forthcomingness with the fact that this rating system existed in the first place hampered tons of creators from being able to better adapt their content so that it performed better in search and recommendation. Very similar to how they did with demonetization. Some people have said that YouTube's reasoning for not releasing this kind of information was because of people like JStation and other shock value or tag sniffing YouTubers like him who would just abuse potentially whitelisted tags like satire. But the thing is, even now, YouTube hasn't done such a great job of weeding those out. They still abuse loopholes in YouTube's algorithm to the point of distastefulness, like JStation's Suicide Forest videos, and while YouTube officially releasing this kind of information might have given him some ability to do that even more, these people exist and a lot of times thrive regardless of that, regardless of whether YouTube gives them all of the details on how they could best optimize their videos for search. The only difference that would exist in a world where this rating system is public knowledge, and the reality we had before Nerd City dropped his video, is that in the first scenario, while people like JStation would have more info to exploit the YouTube algorithm with, legitimate creators like H3H3, iDubbbz, vloggers, or any other number of content creators who are genuinely trying to make videos that are entertaining and just want that content to be seen by more people could use that information to make the videos genuinely fit the guidelines while still trying to make something they're proud of. And yes, while it is a constraint on some of the content that you can make, it's a constraint you can willingly and knowingly put on yourself by implementing it into the content that you create. But there's no choice in this system where we barely knew that the rating system existed. But either way, finding a way to make videos that you're still proud of and think are entertaining, even within the constraints of YouTube algorithms, is part of the fun and part of the challenge in my opinion. Another thing I mentioned earlier is that it seems like all of the ratings being handed out are being done by a bot. A very, let's just say less than sober one at that. Its method of taking in context appears to extend to being taking certain pieces of the metadata, like the aforementioned satire or Me Too tags, and that really isn't enough to judge the actual content of a whole video in my opinion. For example, the bot tries to give sensitive topics like suicide or sexual abuse an M rating, but one of the things that Nerd City brought up in his video is that even videos that were made to try and stop people from killing themselves were rated M and suppressed in the system.
Last leg of the ad campaign targeted these keywords specifically. They placed ads on videos related to coming out of the closet, suicide prevention, and Me Too. The bot can't seem to tell the difference between a video that's, let's say, making light of suicide and a video that's aimed at dissuading people who are suicidal from going through with it. The comments are filled with people sharing how much this video helped them. Some people saying that watching it literally saved their life that day. It was rated M and made harder to find. That should not be happening. If a young person is considering hurting themselves, this might be the video they need to see.
And it mostly comes down to that. The core issue that seems to be at the root of a lot of YouTube's demonetization or rating algorithms comes in the form of really shit machine learning. While that machine learning has gotten a fuck ton better since its inception, presumably back when the first adpocalypse rolled around, it still has a lot of the same issues at the start. It fucking sucks at taking in context. Google has a program that can scan pictures, and supposedly this is being used to scan thumbnails on YouTube, and when you run pictures of PewDiePie or Susan Wojcicki through that program, it says those pictures are racy.
Google's Vision API, which is widely believed to be the tool that's scanning thumbnails to determine their ad friendliness or not, scans a thumbnail of PewDiePie and sees that as racy. Sees a picture of YouTube's CEO, Susan Wojcicki, as racy.
Also, the automatic subtitles generated by YouTube, while they have gotten a fuck ton better with time, they are highly likely to at least partially be used to identify what type of content is in a video. But like I said, the bot that's doing most of the legwork in this situation sucks at taking in context. But even improving that machine learning even further could propose more problems for YouTube. If they try to program that bot to do another thing, it could just fuck up the system even more. It's layers on layers of code, and no one knows where anything is anymore. Gerald, help, I'm lost. And also, when manual review by a human will still deem Logan Paul's original Suicide Forest video as a-okay to put on YouTube and also on the trending tab, what good shit is that machine learning gonna learn from human reviewers, who are partly supposed to teach the bot how to act, are not doing such a great job themselves, or at least some of them. One bad egg could spoil the entire batch, especially when their misjudgments are as big as the one that they made with Logan Paul's Suicide Forest video. That practically leaves the bot's only reliable source to learn from as itself. It's circular like 6ix9ine. These are my final thoughts. The rating system should have been made more public to its creators by YouTube instead of the creators having to expose it instead. I'm not saying every aspect of the system had to be public knowledge, because there are people who would take that info and abuse the shit out of it, but at least some degree of guidelines of what type of content falls into what rating, so when people make a video they can at least get some general idea and they can take that into account in some form when creating a video. And they can also readjust their expectations on how the video is going to perform. Because no matter what it is, seeing a video underperform and not knowing what to change so that the next video performs better can be extremely discouraging, especially especially when that underperformance in recommended is exaggerated so much more for smaller creators, who are already fighting super hard to reach a wider audience, even without the rating system getting in the way. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. I still highly recommend that you go and check out Nerd City's original video on this, and covers this in a lot more detail, and it's just really good. But if you guys enjoyed, be sure to drop a like, and if you're new, subscribe. The last video got 4,000 likes, a lot faster than I thought it would, so yeah, I'm gonna make a part 2 about Baby Jesus Girl. But anyways, thank you to anybody who donated to the Patreon so far. If any of you guys are interested in taking the extra step to help out the channel, there's a link to the Patreon in the description. I have a live podcast called Pullover that I stream every week, usually on Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern time, but times and dates do vary depending on mine and guest schedules. So be sure to follow me on Twitter at Kwite for updates when I'm streaming. If you want to check out any of the already uploaded episodes, they've all been uploaded to a separate channel, and there's a link to that in the sidebar of the channel in the description. Go check out the Discord server, there's a link to that in the description. Anyways, this has been Kwite, and I'll see you guys next time.